A mysterious man approaches you, offering $1,000 if you can make him laugh. What's your joke? A gay deer walks out of a bar and says, "Man, I can't believe I just blew $50. How much does a chimney cost?" "Nothing, it's on the house, ha 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 ha." 3 Western spies were captured and put in a cell in the Soviet Union. An English spy, a French spy and an Italian spy. First they interrogate the English spy, but he refused to speak. So they tie him up and torture him for 2 hours until he finally gives in and tells them everything he knew. Next, they interrogate the French spy who also wouldn't speak. But after 4 hours of torture he also couldn't take any more and told them everything he knew. Finally, they interrogate the Italian, who also wouldn't speak. So they begin to torture him. After 4 hours he still hasn't spoken. So they continue torturing him for hours. After enduring a full 24 hours of torture, they give up and put him back in the cell. The other 2 spies are amazed and ask the Italian how managed to go on for so long without speaking. The Italian replies, "I would have told them everything after just 1 hour. But I couldn't speak because my hands were tied up." A bear and a rabbit are shitting in the forest. The bear turns to the rabbit and asks, "Do you have a problem with poo sticking on your fur?" Quote, "No," answered the rabbit. So the bear wipes his ass with the rabbit. I went into a pet shop and asked if I could buy a goldfish. The man asked if I wanted an aquarium. I said I don't care what star sign it is. This is my step ladder. I never knew my real one. Bob and his grandson are sitting on a bench at the top of a hill overlooking the town. He points to the statue in the center of town and says, "See that statue? Boy, I made that statue. But do they call me Bob the Mason? No, they don't." He then puts his hand on the seat of the bench they're on. "See this bench? I built this bench with my own 2 hands. But do they call me Bob the Carpenter? No, they don't." He then sighs and says, "But you fuck one goat." What's the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi? People in Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but people in Abu Dhabi do. The Pope decides to take a cross-country tour across America, beginning in California and ending in New York. Somewhere in the Midwest, the Pope-mobile breaks down, and while it's repaired, the Pope continued his journey with a limousine rental. After a few hours, the limousine driver rolled down the glass partition and spoke. "I know I'm not supposed to talk to you, Your Holiness, or Highness. I'm not even sure what to call you." Quote, "It's okay, my son. Say what you want to say." Well, when they told me who I'd be driving, I was really thrilled. It's such an honor. And if there is anything I can do to make it a better trip, I'll do my best to make sure it happens. The Pope thought for a while, then replied, "You know, before I became Pope, I really enjoyed driving. I would drive for hours. But now, no one will allow me to drive anywhere. Would you mind if we switched places and I can drive?" Quote, the limousine driver agreed and the 2 switched places. After a while, the Pope became relaxed, turned the radio on, hung his arm out the window, and just enjoyed cruising. However, not aware of his increasing speed, he was soon pulled over by a motorcycle cop. The cop walked up to the limousine, saw who was driving, said, "Excuse me, Your Holiness," for a moment, then returned to his bike and got on the radio. "Chief, I think I have a problem. I believe I pulled over someone pretty important, and I'm not sure how to deal with it." The chief responded, "Don't tell me you pulled over a state representative again, Johnson?" Quote, "No, I think this person is more important. Not our governor? Quote, no. I believe more important than the governor. Johnson. Tell me you didn't pull over a presidential motorcade. No. They may be even more important than the president. What? Really? Who's more important than the president? Quote, hell if I know. But the Pope's driving. Saw this somewhere recently, a priest, a pastor, and a rabbit walk into a blood bank. The nurse or whoever asks the rabbit, what's your blood type? Quote, I think I'm probably a type O. My girlfriend's dog died, so I tried to cheer her up by getting her an identical one. It just made her more upset. She screamed at me, what am I supposed to do with 2 dead dogs? Quote, 3 nuns die and are met by an angel at the gates of heaven. The angel, standing behind a big bowl of holy water, tells them, if you have sinned, confess. The first nun says, I touched a penis with my right hand. The angel answers, dip your hand in the water and go on in. The nun does as told and passes through the gates to her afterlife. As the second nun opens her mouth to speak, the third nun interferes. Can I just gargle some water before this bitch dips her ass in? Quote, what do you call a boomerang that doesn't work? A stick. Trampolines were formerly known as jumpolines until 1975 when your mom first used one. Edit. I don't care about the money. I'm talking directly to Op. Colonel Sanders calls the Pope and asks, hey Pope, I'll donate $10,000 to the Catholic Church if you change the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily chicken. The Pope says to the Colonel, sorry. There's simply no way the Church is going to change the Lord's Prayer like that. The next day Colonel Sanders calls the Pope and says, hey Pope, I'll donate $100,000 to the Catholic Church if you change the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily chicken. The Pope says to the Colonel, sorry. There's simply no way the Church is going to change the Lord's Prayer like that. A week later Colonel Sanders calls the Pope and says, hey Pope, I'll donate $10 million to the Catholic Church if you change the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily chicken. The Pope replies, Colonel, you've got a deal. Immediately the Pope calls a big meeting of all the Church's bishops and cardinals. And he makes the following announcement. Gentlemen, I have some good news. And some bad news. First, the good news. The Church just made $10 million in a single donation by changing the Lord's Prayer to give us this day our daily chicken. A soft level of applause is heard. The Pope then says, and for the bad news. The Church just lost the Wonder Bread account. What do you call an IT teacher that touches his students? A PDF file. How do you think the unthinkable? With an iceberg. If that doesn't work, here's another one. What's the difference between a toilet paper and a curtain? Quote, I don't know. Ah. So it was you. Quote, edit. Added the second joke in case the first one fails. What do you call an octopus with 2 extra arms? 10 tickles. And then I tickle the shit out of the mysterious man. And while he's distracted I run away with the money. What's the difference between a BMW and a hedgehog? A hedgehog has the pricks on the outside. Edit. Thanks for silver. A pastor coming home from church hears a boy shouting, damn fish for sale. Damn fish for sale. Quote. The pastor approaches him and asks, why are they called damn fish? Quote. The boy replies, because I caught them at the dam. Quote. The pastor is amused and buys 3 to take home for his family. He gets home and tells his wife, "Honey, cook the damn fish." Quote. She gasps and asks, "Why are they called damn fish?" The pastor explains he bought them from a boy who caught them at a dam. She laughs and proceeds to cook them for dinner. As they are eating, the pastor says, "Son, pass the damn fish." The son says, "That's the spirit, Dad. Pass the fucking potatoes." Quote.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.